Welcome, Senator Shaheen.
Well, thanks very much, Ernesto, and thank you to the New Hampshire Business Review for hosting this discussion today. It sounds like a really exciting opportunity for people to think about how they can hire more veterans and for veterans to get access to resources to ensure that they can have a successful transition when they get out of the military. And I want to begin by thanking all of the veterans who are on this Zoom for your service to the country. We are so grateful for everything that you and your families have done. You know, as Ernesto says, I have been on the Armed Services Committee for a number of years now, and I've had a chance to see firsthand the contributions that our veterans make. I've had the opportunity on my own staff to hire several veterans. Right now, my military aide is a veteran of the Army who is still in the reserves, and it's so helpful to have his skills and experience to be able to navigate the various issues that come before the Armed Services Committee. I'm also on the Small Business Committee, and we have worked to try and see how we can make SBA programs better accommodate the needs of veterans. I have talked to a number of veterans who've talked about, and we've had them come before the committee, and they've talked about some of the challenges of transitioning and the fact that often the information doesn't come until they're actually ready to get out of the service. And it would be helpful to have more information as they're thinking about the transition. So we've tried to push SBA to do that, to make that information available sooner for people. I've worked to try and get fees waived, and in fact, we were able to get legislation signed into law that would waive fees on SBA programs for veterans, which I think right now in this pandemic is particularly important as we think about how do we have veteran-owned businesses survive through this period. I've had a chance personally to visit a number of those veteran-owned businesses, and it's been really impressive to see the work that's going on. I was just, last month, I was at the National Flight Simulator, which is the veteran-owned small business of the year this year. And it was exciting to talk to Steve Cunningham, the Air Force veteran, about his starting that program. It continues to do training for pilots as the technology changes on aircraft. And what was interesting to me was that he had hired mostly veterans to work for the company. And it makes sense that we hire those people that we know. And so that was impressive to see. I also have visited National Monument Construction in Nashua. And they are doing great work for government agencies. They do a lot of work for the VA on construction. And again, it makes sense that veterans have that expertise and they would bring that knowledge of how government works to what they're doing. So obviously, hiring veterans is a great opportunity because they bring skills and experience and a dedication that makes such a difference in the workplace. You know, as I said, as a member of the Armed Services Committee, I've had a chance to travel around the world and see a number of and talk with a number of our soldiers. Last year, I was in Afghanistan, and what they try and do when members of Congress are traveling is to find people from our home states who want to meet with us. And so we were down in Kandahar in Afghanistan, and we were meeting with several Granite Staters. And I'm talking to them, and one of the people starts talking, and he's got a very Southern accent. And I said, well, where are you from? He was from Arkansas, but he wanted to meet with us because when he got out of the service, he wanted to come to New Hampshire. So we talked a little bit about what his aspirations were. And I said, well, you know, when you get out, call our office, let us know. We can put you in touch with some of the resources in New Hampshire. Sure enough, earlier this year, after he got out of the service, he called our office. We put him in touch. He was able to work with the New Hampshire Military Coaching Alliance. And now he's working in New Hampshire for a defense firm. And I think is very happy to be here, and we're excited to have him here. So it's an example of the kind of opportunities that exist when we can connect veterans and employers to the resources that are available. And as we think about the challenges right now, getting through the pandemic, with hiring back skilled workers, it's a win-win to hire a veteran. So I think you'll have a great discussion today to talk about how we can better make those connections and ensure that not only are veterans able to find jobs that they want, but employers are able to find the veterans who have the skills that they need. So thank you very much again, Ernesto, and everyone for having me part of this conversation this morning. I look forward to hearing the outcome and what your next steps will be.
Thank you so much, Senator Shaheen. And I think your perspectives and leadership were an invaluable way to start this conversation. So we
Thank you.
really appreciate you being here.
Thanks very much. Have a good day.
All right. Thank you. You too.